Hi, I'm Tia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a Christmas book haul to share with you. So recently I have been purchasing a bunch of Christmas themed or holiday themed books, and I also even placed a book outlet order in which I ordered only Christmas themed books, and so I'm going to open that up here in a minute to share with you, as well as just the other books that I've been buying recently. But first I wanted to tell you about a challenge that I have been doing. This is the third year that I will have been setting this challenge for myself. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen it. But basically, every year at this time, I challenge myself to read 25 Christmas books or novellas and watch 25 Christmas movies. And I create templates over on Instagram in which I share all of these different books and movies through my stories, and also invite you to join in the fun if you want to join as well. And there are some people who have done it with me throughout the years. Obviously, it's a very laid back challenge. There is no pressure at all to do it, to join anything. I just do it for fun because I love to read Christmas books and to watch Christmas movies, as many as I can every year. The only stipulation is that it does need to be Christmas, holiday themed, winter themed, anything like that. Now, it can be other types of winter holidays, or it can just be set in the winter to count for the challenge. So you could do Hanukkah reads, or you could do Kwanzaa reads, or like I said, it could just be like a snowed in type thing. It can be any kind of genre as long as it's one of those types of books. So it could be a cozy mystery, it could be a thriller, it could be a romance, it could even be a fantasy if there are fantasies that are set in winter, or sci-fi. I do know that I think I do have one Christmas book that is sci-fi short stories set at Christmas time, and I also have a horror short story collection that is all Christmas themed books that I read a few years ago. So it can be any genre that you want it to be, as long as it is set in the winter or around Christmas or one of the winter holidays. Same goes with movies. So the exact same thing, just with movies. Well, that there's always a debate on whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but if you think it's a Christmas movie, it's certainly set at Christmas time. So if you want to count that as one of your movies that you watched this year, go ahead and do it. And so the challenge, I will put one of the boards. I've made four different templates. So obviously, 2 different versions that have movies and 2 different versions that have books. And it just says the 25 Christmas books of 2022 and 25 Christmas movies of 2022. So I've made these for the past, I think I started in 2020. Anyway, and so because it just says 2022, if you want to count something that you have already read or watched this year onto your template as something that, for this challenge, you can certainly do it. I don't have a start date for this. I will probably start around the middle of November or the end of November with my challenges. But like I said, if you are just now seeing this board, but you've already read some Christmas books or you've watched some Christmas movies this year, definitely just go ahead and put them on there and share them in your stories on Instagram. I would love to see what you have read and watched and see whether or not it is something that I would be interested in. And I may try to make currently reading templates as well, or just review templates, so that you can share, just one individual book and one individual movie as you watch it, along with your star rating and any thoughts that you have. I will try to get that up either this weekend or Monday, sometime soon. Anyway, so in order to grab your own template, definitely follow me on Instagram. I am at Tia and all the books over there as well. I have all of the templates saved in my story highlights that is on my profile page. And if you cannot find it on there, it's definitely on there, but if it is somehow you don't see it, just send me a DM on Instagram and I will send you the image directly. yeah, so that is it. So that's one of the main reasons I think why I went a little bit crazy with buying Christmas books. I always get Christmas book fever around this time, and don't be fooled. I already own a ton of Christmas books already, physically as well as on my Kindle. So was there really any need for me to buy new ones? No, but I just have a sickness, and the only way that I can fix it is to buy more Christmas books, apparently. Anyway, so let me show you what all I have bought recently in the Christmas genre. First, I grabbed All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox. I believe that this is Maggie Knox's most recent release. Last year she had the holiday swap. I think it was last year. It could have been 2 years ago. That was really popular. I haven't read that one yet, but it's on my list, obviously. So this one is following two singers. I think they are both country singers, and they are on a reality TV show where they're competing against each other. And I don't think that they like each other very much, but they are paired up to sing a duet on the show, and fans end up kind of like shipping them together and creating like a hashtag for their onstage chemistry called #Saxy, because their names are Sadie and Max. And yeah. So anyway, it's going to be, I guess, probably not quite enemies to lovers, but they definitely don't like each other. So maybe like rivals to lovers, set at Christmas time on a reality singing show. Then I have a murder mystery set at Christmas time. This one is called The Christmas Murder Game, and it is by Alexandra Benedict. So this one is following a family who always have this big annual Christmas game at their house every year at the in-game house, which is the Armitage's grand family home. But this year, I think something goes wrong and they end up getting snowed in and people start to die. And it also sounds like it is like a game to win the deed to the house, because I guess whoever owns it has recently died. And so whoever wins this final game is going to win the deed to the house, but then people start dying and they are trying to figure out who is the killer and what is happening. So this one sounds really intriguing. I definitely want to get to this one this year. I obviously want to get to all of these this year, but I don't know for sure if that will happen. I'm going to try my hardest though. I have Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. This is a romantic comedy set at a Christmas tree farm. I believe this is following a woman who is trying to save her family's Christmas tree farm. Seems like it is on its risk of going under, and she's trying to win like some big cash prize, but she put on the application that she has a boyfriend. She doesn't actually have one, so I guess she has to enlist someone to be like her fake boyfriend. So we're gonna have fake dating, Christmas tree farm, romance. Sounds like it's going to be a really cozy read for this Christmas. Then I have 4 books that are in the same cozy mystery series. This is the year-round Christmas mystery series, and I already owned the first one. I decided to go ahead and get the next 4 so that I could binge them. These are all set in Rudolph, New York, where it is Christmas all year round, and we are following a shop owner whose name is Mary, and they are set at different times of the year though. This one says it is the week before Thanksgiving, so that would be really good to read right about now at the end of November. This one is set right before Christmas Day, or as Christmas Day is approaching, so that is also good to read pretty soon. And then we have in the days after Christmas is when this one is set. And then this one is actually set in July, so it has like a Christmas in July theme. I'm not exactly sure what number in the series each one of these are, but these 3 definitely would be great to read right now, and then save this one for the summer whenever you are needing a little dose of Christmas pick-me-up in the middle of July. Okay, then I have a few more romances here. This one is called Christmas Baggage by Deborah M. Hathaway. This one is part of the Christmas Escape novel series. I think there are going to be like 5 in this series, and it seems like they are all being released pretty close together, and they're all by different authors. So I picked up the 3 that are out right now. I'm hoping to be able to read them soon, but they all look like they're going to be a lot of fun. But this one is following a girl named Claire who has decided to go on a vacation during Christmas and escape to England to sort of, I guess, get out of what she normally does every year. And she ends up meeting a guy, I don't know if it's her friend's cousin, who she's visiting England with her friend. And so she meets her friend's cousin, and he is, of course, very handsome, but not very charming. I think, like it says that his looks are like Darcy-esque, but his personality is more like Darth Vader. I don't know. So maybe a Grumpy Sunshine. I'm not sure, but I've heard good things about this book, so I'm looking forward to trying this one out. And then I have Faking Christmas by Cindy Steele. This one is a fake dating trope, which I guess you could probably guess by the title. She told like a little white lie and then end up having to fake date, I think, a coworker while she is spending like Christmas at a Vermont lodge or inn or something, Christmas lodge with her family. Yeah, I always enjoy fake dating, so this should be fun. Kind of sounds like a Hallmark movie. And then the last one I recently purchased in the series is Host for the Holidays by Martha Keyes. This one is about a girl who has been dating a guy for like 2 years, and she has been hoping for a proposal, but he hasn't obviously proposed. But then I think he suggests a Christmas in Paris, but I don't think he comes along. I don't know. It's the back is sort of confusing because she ends up at like this bed and breakfast, but he's not there. Some other guy is there. And yeah, anyway, if these three are good, then I probably will go ahead and get the other ones in the series at some point. So just, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I have the 12 Topsy-Turvy Very Messy Days of Christmas by James Patterson and Tad Safran. I picked this one up because I wanted to read one of those types of Christmas books that's not romance or mystery, that's just sort of one of those feel-good family type Christmas reads. And this one promises to be that. I don't really understand what it's about because the blurb doesn't really give any information at all besides saying that it is about a family of 3 who is missing someone very close to them, and then over the 12 days of Christmas, a bunch of different people start to show up and surprising things start to happen. I don't know. I really have no idea what's going to happen here, but I'm hoping for it to be like a very touching family type Christmas book, if that makes any sense at all. And I have another couple of cozy mysteries that I snagged. This one is The Enemy Yunoki by Catherine Bruns. It is the 3rd book in the Italian Chef Mysteries series, and this one is following, obviously, in our Italian chef, Tessa, who is looking forward to the Christmas festivities that are going on around town, but then I think her, like, rival in town ends up dead. His name is Mario, and she is going to try to figure out what has happened to him. And then I also picked up Apple Cider Slaying by Julianne Lindsay. This is the first in the Cider Shop mystery series, and it takes place around Christmas time in Virginia at this apple cider farm, or the apple orchard, sorry, the Smith Orchards, where Winnie and her grandmother, I think, have been running the orchards and the family business, but they're not doing very well. So they decide to start up something called the First Annual Christmas at the Orchard, where it's going to be a good old-fashioned holiday festival. But then Granny's longtime arch nemesis turns up dead, and Granny is obviously suspected in the murder, and so Winnie has to work to try to prove her grandmother's innocence, and I'm assuming still try to save the family orchards as well. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to this one as well. Obviously, I'm looking forward to all of these. I don't know why I keep saying that. And I have Meet Me Under the Mistletoe by Jenny Bayless. She is an author who has put out Christmas books, I think, for the last few years, every Christmas. I haven't read any of them yet, so maybe this will be the first one that I do. But this one is following a bookshop owner who has been invited, like sort of a class reunion wedding party thing. So some of her classmates are getting married around Christmas time, and it's all going to be taking place up at this castle that they own. And so she goes back there, and she is obviously faced with seeing all of her old school friends, as well as someone who she considered to be her enemy, but now she is sort of feeling an attraction towards him. I'm really looking forward to this one because a castle in England at Christmas time sounds like it's going to have excellent cozy winter vibes for sure. I've Snowed In for Christmas by Sarah Morgan. This one is following a family of siblings who are all obviously coming back together with their family for Christmas. They all have some sort of secret or something that they want to keep hidden, and they don't want to be questioned about their private lives. So it's kind of like their goal during the holidays to keep their private lives private, but I'm assuming some stuff is going to happen and they are probably all going to come out with their secrets. I've only read one other Sarah Morgan book, and it was about sisters at Christmas time who all had stuff going on and secrets that they were keeping, and it all came out at Christmas. So this sounds sort of similar. So yeah, we'll see if that's what this ends up being, but it's kind of what the blurb sounds like. So yeah. One Last Christmas Gift by Emily Stone, and this one actually sounds pretty sad. It is about two siblings who have always relied on each other, but the brother has recently passed away, and every year he had like come up with this Christmas scavenger hunt for her to do. But this year, obviously, he's not going to be around. But I think their friend, I think he left this Christmas scavenger list for this year with his friend, like their mutual friend. And so the friend comes and gives the list to her. So I don't know what's going to happen, if she's going to do the list this year by herself or with this friend. But I imagine it's going to be incredibly sad and very emotional. So I will definitely have to be in the right headspace to read this one. But we'll see how that goes. And then I have this book outlet box to unbox with you on camera. I think I have ripped most of my address off, so let's see if I can open it here. Oh, of course. Look, it's like it's already been ripped. It's like... There, I did it. Okay, I don't even remember what I ordered, honestly. I ordered it a week or so ago, and then it came in and I just let it sit in here until I was ready to film the video. So let's see. I'm not even sure exactly how many books are in here. 6, 7, 8. We're about to find out together. I pulled out is Christmas by the Book by Anne Marie Ryan, and this one is about a couple who own a bookstore. I think they have been working there, owning the store for like 30 years, and a man comes in and buys this book that they have never been able to sell, which inspires them to start giving out books to different people in the village where they live as like sort of pick-me-ups around the holiday season to different people who they think might need it. And I'm assuming it probably brings the town closer together or brings hope to some people. It sounds like it's going to be a great Christmas read. Then I have The Christmas House by Victoria James. This one is following a woman who has owned this bed and breakfast for like the last 50 years in this quaint little town. And this year she has invited her family back to town to stay with her in the B&B. And I think it's like a whole bunch of grown-up grandchildren, maybe who have become estranged or something. She's hoping that they can be reconciled to each other. So yeah, this one sounds like it'll be a fun, cozy family read as well. Then I pulled out A Royal Christmas Wish by Lizzie Shane. This one is a Christmas romance that's published by Hallmark Publishing, and the back is sort of confusing. It almost sounds like it has a magical realism aspect to it. It's about this girl who runs into a prince in the park, and somebody gives her like a wish, and she ends up married to the prince, but she knows at midnight everything's going to go back to the way that it was. I don't know. Very confusing. So I'm assuming this is magical realism with like a Cinderella twist set at Christmas time. I don't know. Not really what I was expecting. I guess I should read the blurbs better. Okay, then I have Alaskan Holiday by Debbie Maycomer. And to be honest with you, I bought this one based on the fact that it's written by Debbie Maycomer and the cover, so I assumed that this was going to be a Christmas romance. But now that I've read the blurb, I feel like maybe it's not. It's about this girl who decides to take a job in Alaska for the summer before she has to go back to her sous chef job. But she ends up, I think, falling in love with the man, and he wants her to stay. But she can't imagine like moving to Alaska full time and leaving her mother behind. But she misses the last boat, I think, out of town, and winter starts to set in. I don't know. Is she going to get stranded in Alaska? So maybe we will get some Christmas. I'm not sure, but it almost sounds like the meaning of Alaskan Holiday is like a summer type of holiday and not the Christmas holiday. So I don't know. Let me know if you've read this one and if it has any aspects of Christmas in it or not. This cover definitely says Christmas, but I'm not sure by the blurb whether or not this is going to be a summer holiday set in Alaska or if we will actually get taken into Christmas with it. Then I picked up The Wish from Book Outlet by Nicholas Sparks. So this one is probably going to be a tearjerker, honestly, if it's like any other Nicholas Sparks books that I've ever read. But this one sounds like it's about this woman who is in declining health, and she becomes kind of close with her medical assistant, and she ends up telling him like the story. I'm gonna guess like her romance story and set in the past. So this will probably have like dual timelines where we see her in the present day with her medical assistant and their blossoming friendship as she also tells the story about her past, and I'm assuming like a man that she met in the past. Anyway, it sounds really interesting, and it is taking place over Christmas as far as the blurb, as far as I can tell by the blurb. But yeah, also, just like any of these other ones, if you've read this book, let me know how much of this is set at Christmas time or not. I would love to know in advance, so I kind of go into it knowing what to expect, and that way I won't be disappointed if it's not largely set at Christmas time. If it's only a small bit, I would much rather know that in advance. A Little Christmas Spirit by Sheila Roberts. This one is about a single mom who is hoping to make the Christmas season perfect for her young son. I think they've just recently moved to town, but she has a very grumpy, curmudgeon neighbor who I think is a widower, and then I'm sure romance is going to ensue at some point. I guess we'll have to read and find out. Then I have The Christmas Dress by Courtney Cole. So this one is about a woman who is returning back home, I think, to take on the task of running her father's building where there's a bunch of tenants that she is, responsible for or whatever. And one of them is this woman who is about to have to move into a nursing home, and she needs to go through all of her stuff before she moves out. And Meg helps her. They strike up this friendship, specifically over this dress that I think Meg becomes enamored with, and the woman tells her the story behind it and gives the dress to Meg, and I don't know what else is going to happen, but this one sounds really cute. I love the intergenerational friendship that sounds like it's going to happen here, and it has a bit of a mysterious aspect that I'm looking forward to checking out as well. Then I have Merry Christmas Murder by Stephanie Blackmore. This is a wedding planner mystery, and it sounds like it is about this wedding planner who is trying to organize a big Christmas Eve gala for her best friend, and a whole bunch of stuff is going wrong, including someone who ends up dead because they drank some punch that was actually spiked with antifreeze. Yeah, so anyway, they have to figure out who's behind that and solve all the other problems that are happening here in town around Christmas time. Then I have The 12 Dogs of Christmas by Lizzie Shane. This one is about a woman who has found out that her family's rescue shelter has just lost its funding, and she has to find homes for 12 dogs before Christmas. But then she ends up, I think, meeting this Grinch who's pulled their funding, and he turns out to be more reasonable than she expected, and maybe they work together to find the dogs homes, or she gives them an extended deadline. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, but there is going to be romance and a lot of dogs. I think I've heard good things about this one, and I think it's the first in a series that's following this specific town and some other women in the town who all end up, getting romance over the Christmas season. Actually, I don't think they're all Christmas, But this first one is Christmas. So yeah, it's definitely here. I definitely bought it recently from Book Outlet. Okay, so those are all of the Christmas books that I have purchased recently. You know what? I did buy one other one from Book Depository, and that is a Redbird Christmas by Fanny Flagg. So I'll put a picture of it up here because I'm not sure when it will come in. But this one I think is like a small town Christmas book that's following multiple different characters in this small town. I think there might be a touch of romance in here, but I think it's mostly just like cozy small town, you know, all the different people in town type of book. I'm not 100% sure. You can certainly let me know down in the comments if you have read this one, but I've heard great things about Fanny Flagg. She obviously wrote the Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe book, which I haven't read, but I have seen the movie, but not that that counts. Anyway, so I have a lot of Christmas books, a lot of Christmas reading to do here. I am certainly going to read as many of these as possible, as well as the other ones that were already on my backlist. Like I said before, be sure to check out my Instagram page if you want to join me in trying to read as many Christmas books or novellas or short stories, children's book, manga, comic books, whatever you want to read. It could be audiobooks, ebooks, anything. Definitely join in with me on that challenge. I would love to have you. It'll be so much fun to see what everyone is reading. Let me know if you've read any of these books or if there are any other ones that are in the Christmas, winter themed type of genre that you would recommend. I would love to hear anything that you have to chat about down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are all doing well, and I will see you next time. Bye.